Kaitlen Whitt is a third-year poetry candidate in Virginia Tech's MFA program and will graduate this May. Her poems have appeared in Bodega Magazine, Still, the Journal, and Natural Bridge, among others. And she has composed work for broadcast on West Virginia Public Radio. After graduation, she intends to teach in Thailand during the fall semester before moving back to West Virginia to teach writing in the prison system. Today, Kaitlen will share a story about the effects of an attempted break-in. Welcome, Kaitlen.
When I first heard the sound, this dull, thudding, aggressive sound, I assumed someone had fallen down the stairs outside my apartment building in the hallway, or maybe a heavy piece of furniture hit the floor in the apartment above me, my neighbor's apartment. It was 3 years ago. I just moved into my apartment in Blacksburg. First night there, I was celebrating. I was taking a bath, drinking a glass of wine, very classy. I had just adopted a new dog, well, a used dog, because it came from the pound. She's a sausage-shaped dog, if you will, which is a nice way of saying that she's oblong and pretty pudgy. She has these little short legs and this pretty serious underbite, and she was asleep on the floor beside me when the sound came, and her whole body bristled. My whole body bristled, because that's what the human body does, right? When you hear a sound and you don't know what it is, it's a loud sound, especially my body, especially a female body. And the sound came again and again, and it hit me. It's coming from inside my apartment. And just like that, I was Janet Leigh in Psycho. I was Drew Barrymore in Scream. I was the woman alone in a bathtub. I was the woman alone when the sound's coming from inside of the house. And we know how those stories end for those women, and if you don't, it's bad. So I jump out of the tub, I throw my robe on, water's soaking through it, and I run towards the room where the sound's coming from. And my little sausage dog trails along behind me, and she's growling and shaking because she can't just be mad, because she's too small, she's too vulnerable to just be mad. She has to be afraid too. So I go to the doorway, and I throw on the light, and the sound stops. And I stop. And I stand there, dripping and afraid and angry, and I can't move. But then my little dog runs towards the window and she starts to bark. And I don't know if you know a lot of scary movies, or you watch a lot. I do, obviously. They don't end well for dogs. They don't make it to the end. And so I'm thinking about that when I run towards the window to scoop up my little dog, but I'm also thinking about the other side of the window. I'm thinking about who's over there, if they have a gun, if they have a knife, if there's more than one of them, if they're going to know my face or if I'm going to know theirs. When I get to the window and I scoop up my little dog and I hold her against my chest, I hear this other sound, this soft, hushed, fleeing sound. And even though I know that means the person's probably gone, I can't pull up the blinds. And it's not just because I live in kind of a crappy college town apartment with brittle, broken blinds, because I do. But I can't pull them up. I just can't do it. And by the time I actually do pull them up all at once, I've been holding my breath for so long that I'm gasping for air like I'm drowning, like I'm still in the bathtub and someone's holding my head under. Now, of course, there's no one there. There's just shattered glass, right? And it's double pane, though. So the first pane is just destroyed, it's obliterated. But the inside, the second pane, is just cracked a little. So I stand there and I stare at it. I'm still holding my little sausage dog. And then flight kicks in. And I run out of that room and I slam the door and I get my phone and I call the police. And the operator stayed on the line with me until, the red and blue lights, I could see them coming, and she was very kind and tried to keep me calm, which obviously I wasn't. So the police come. There is a female officer and 2 male officers, and I'm still holding my little dog. And I'm still holding on to her, even though, again, she's not exactly a light little dog, But when I hold on to her, even though my arms are going numb, I feel like I'm protecting something that's keeping me from just shattering completely. So the female officer takes me into my kitchen, and she asks me lots of questions, trying to see if there's anybody who could possibly want to hurt me. I'd only lived in Blacksburg, not even 24 hours, so I didn't know a lot of people, and none of them would hurt me. But I'm holding my dog again, and she's growling and shaking, and I'm very embarrassed because the officer's very kind to me, of course. But not as embarrassed as I am about the fact that I'm only in my robe with nothing underneath it. And then, of course, the other officers are going around my apartment, and they're shining a light under the bed, and they're pushing the clothes back in my closet, and it hits me then that the person didn't get to break in my apartment, but they still got exactly what they wanted. There were still strangers touching my things. They were still in my bedroom. There was still someone questioning me. I was still vulnerable and afraid and angry, and there was nothing I could do to change that. So of course nothing was found. They didn't find anything. The only thing they found was this big, muddy boot print on the outside window. And of course, my maintenance man had to order a new window. It didn't come for a week, and every time I would walk by it, that boot print would just stare me down, because of course it didn't rain and wash it away. So when the officers left, the female officer gave me her card, her business card, and she wrote her cell phone number on it, and she said to call her any time, which was very helpful to me. And I still have that card, even though, again, it's been 3 years. I keep it on the corkboard beside my front door, and when I move in June, I'll still take that card. Because once someone tries to break into your space, into yourself, you're always cracked, and that card holds me together a little bit. So the broken night, the break-in night, I didn't sleep. Not surprisingly, I sat up on my couch all night with my little sausage dog shaking and growling beside me, and on the other side, a butcher knife, and I binge-watched the Halloween movies. And I realized that's funny to watch a scary movie, but I did it. I realized later on because I wanted to see Jamie Lee Curtis make it. I wanted to see her not be a victim. No matter how terrible the movies got or how many there were, she still made it. And eventually, I did fall asleep out of exhaustion, later, not that night. And when I slept, in a very cliched way, I dreamed about the night, the break-in, the attempted break-in. I dreamed about that sound, that hard, thudding sound, a lot of resistance behind it, except in the dream, when I would go up to the window and I would jerk up the blinds, there'd be a face on the other side, and it was always a different face every night. And I recognized the faces. They were the faces of other men who have tried to break into my space, who tried to break into me. One night, it was this man in a bar who, when I came out of the bathroom, he shoved me against the wall and he crammed his tongue in my mouth. Another night, it was a shopkeeper in Istanbul who came up behind me and put his fingers down the front of my jeans. And in the worst nights, the worst dreams, the window was only single pane, and the person broke in. And when I had those dreams, I would sit up in my bed, and I'd be dripping and shaking, just like on the broken night, just like in that night. And I would have to jump out of bed. And I would run around my apartment, and I would shine lights under my bed and check my front door lock, and I would push the clothes back in my closet, check my front door lock. I would make sure that the light was on in the broken room, because it always stays on. I never turn that light off, and I would check my front door lock, and the whole time my little sausage-shaped dog would trail along behind me, shaking and growling. And it occurs to me while I'm talking to you all and telling this story that I keep referring to my dog as my sausage dog, or my sausage-shaped dog, which is weird. I don't normally do that. She's shaped like other oblong things. She's shaped like a pickle, too. And it occurs to me that I'm doing that because on that night, and on a lot of nights, and a lot of days, I feel like meat. I feel like this vulnerable thing under this thin film packaging that can be ripped away so easily. I feel like this thing that's just meant to be consumed and chewed up. And I feel like it's just a matter of time before that consumption and that chewing up occurs.